Namaskar, my dear friends. Let us continue the explanation for development board schematic that we are talking about CrossLink-NX family FPGA from Lattice Semiconductor. So Lattice Semiconductor CrossLink-NX family is one of the most important family and very popular family for FPGA based some video camera design or something like that. So in the last session we had completed up to FPGA mezzanine connector. Now we'll talk about the most important part of the schematic design that is needed as power supplies. Okay. So as you can see here we have power supply indicators. Okay. So in this particular PCB design we have various voltage rails, like we have 12 volt, we have 3.3 volt and other voltages are there. So we need to understand whether they are available on the board or not. So for that purpose what they have done is they have put LEDs to indicate, okay, this particular voltage rail is available. So as you can see, for 12 volt we have this particular LED which is going to glow. So whenever there will be 12 volt available on the board, this particular LED D19 will be glowing as green. Okay. The resistance value is actually decided by how much current ID you want to flow through the LED to glow it, right? So LED has some current, let us say, like 20 milliamperes, or let us say 5 milliampere or 2 milliampere. So how much current you want to, flow through the LED, because LED will glow brighter for higher current and glow little less brighter or dimmer for less current. So you have to see the data scene and best accordingly you have to design the resistance. Okay. So a very simple method you can do that you can design is, let us say this is your V input. Okay. So basically V input minus VF. VF is nothing but voltage drop across the LED divided by the resistance that you are going to design. This resistance value can be calculated by how much current do you want. So let us say I LED you want how much, that will give you the RX value or the resistance required. Okay. So this is how resistance value is designed. So 12 volt is done. Then you can see we have 5 volt LED. So 5 volt LED will be glowing. Generally VF, that is forward biased forward voltage or forward drop voltage for the LED is around 2 volt or 2.7 volt or something like that. So as long as your input voltage is more than this, you will be able to drive the LED very nicely. Okay. So you can see we have 3.3 volt. This is also one more LED. Coming back to 2.8 volt, this is also can be driven. Okay. Maybe because VF will be 2.2 volt for this particular LED which is going to be used. Now what happens if you have a voltage rail of 1.2 volt or 1.8 volt or 1 volt? It is very difficult to drive directly the LEDs through these voltage levels. So how it is being done here is, you can see this is driven by transistor or MOSFET. Okay, so transistor will get switched on by just 1.2 volt, and this is how LED will start glowing. Okay, so this is one of the method to drive the LED using a very low voltage levels. Okay, and this power supply will be actually 3.3 volt that is there. So this was the voltage rail indicators. Now we have some of the regulators like LDOs. So you can see 1.8 volt to 1.2 volt output. So this is I think being used for your camera modules, and similar to that 3.3 volt to 2.8 volt. This is also for camera module. And then we have some of the jumpers that has been used. So if you want, you can have VCC IO0, IO1 and IO2. What is the voltage level that you want, you can connect it. Okay, so you can see 3.3 volt is here and 1.8 volt is here. So if you want to have VCC IO 0 as 3.3, you have to sort these two. Okay, or otherwise if you want to have 1.8 volt, you have to sort these two. That's all. Similar to that, 3.3 volt is there for VCCIO1 and VCCIO2 we have 3.3 volt. And other voltage levels you can see VCCIO3 is actually connected to 1.8 volt. Similar to that, this is also 1.8 and this is also 1.8 volt. We have all the voltage rails as like their test points are given. So if you want, you can test that voltage level by probing the like PCB. Similar to that, two more LDOs, like regulators were used, 1 volt and 1.8 volt. So they have also LED indicator using the transistors. Okay. And other VCCIO 6 and 7. So basically all the banks, their voltage labels can be selected from between 3.3 volt to 1.8 volt, or otherwise they can directly connected from 3.3 volt. Okay. So this was LED indicator for the FPGA board that we are discussing about. Now we are going to talk about FPGA power supply pins. Okay, so you can see we have ground pin here. Okay, so all the VSS pin and all the VSS D5 pin and all the VSS like data line pin and all ground. I mean all these grounds are different ground sections are grounded and put together in one of the FPGA section. Okay. Coming back to the decoupling capacitor, so we have VCC pin, VCC auxiliary pin, and VCC auxiliary H3 pin. Okay, so H3, H4, H5 are there. So you can see the required number of decoupling capacitors have been put for each of the VCC pin, and along with that, three two additional bulk capacitors have been put like 10 microfarad, 10 microfarad. So this is how a complete design for the decoupling capacitor of VCC core 1.0 volt or 1 volt is used. Similar to that, we have auxiliary voltage. So auxiliary voltage analog input is 1.8 volt that is coming from LDO, and this LDO is actually like going to give you 1.8 volt supply for this particular FPGA power supply pin. Okay. Coming back to the FPGA auxiliary pin, so that is also supplied by 1.8 volt LDO output, and this is also filtered and then sent it to auxiliary lines. And along with that, each of the pins have been given a decoupling capacitor, and then this is the block which is having NC, that is no connection pin. So there are no connection pin available in this particular FPGA, and this is not connected. Let's go to the power supply regulators. Okay. So as you can see, the main supply is coming from here. A JTAG is used. Okay, I mean jack pin is used. Okay, power supply jack, and this is also like clamped to 12 volt Schottky diode. Okay, so it is kind of voltage clamping or voltage level protection, and then this particular board is protected with a fuse of this particular rating 5 ampere like fast blow fuse, and this is 12 volt output is coming here, and this 12 volt is going to generate 5 volt output and 3.3 volt output using this particular switching regulator. It is kind of PMIC. Okay, so you can see we have 12 volt input here, and the output that has been developed here is this point. Okay, so you can see the output is 3.3 volt, 1.35 ampere ratings, and they have been nicely designed through this particular voltage divider resistor, which will be setting up the output voltage through this feedback pin. Okay, so FB2 is going to set the output to 3.3 volt. Okay. Similar to that, we have 5 volt output here at this location. So you can see this FB1 is going to set the output to 5 volt using this R154 and 156. Okay, and these inductors have been designed in such a fashion that it can give you 5 volt and 1.1 ampere output. A good amount of output capacitors are also used, so that like you will not be like running out of running to voltage drop or something like that. There will be a voltage dip at high load conditions. In that case, this will serve the purpose. Okay, similar to that for 3.3 volt as well, you have 22 microfarad, two numbers. Okay. Okay, so so we have 3.3 volt and 5 volt. Now what do we do? What we need is we need some other voltage levels as well. Okay, so we need core voltage level. As you can see here in this core voltage level, same 12 volt is being fed in the same IC, and same IC is used to generate 1.8 volt 1.1 ampere rating using this two resistor you can see as a feedback setting resistor. Similar to that, 1 volt core voltage is being like generated by using FB1 pin through this particular resistance configuration. Okay. Now coming back to the other part, if you can see, so let us talk about other voltage regulators. So here two regulators are used, as you saw, like we have LDOs. So we will see this one. So this 1.8 volt is being used to convert it to 1 volt LDO. And if you do not want to use this and you want to use this particular net name, then you can place this particular resistance so that this particular voltage can be utilized or particular net can be utilized. Similar to that, 1.8 volt is also being generated for ADC's application and all, that can also be like generated by this particular 3.3 volt with this regulator. Otherwise, directly 1.8 volt which we generated from these two ICs, this one and this one, this particular voltage also can be used directly here, okay, after a ferrite beat. Okay, so this was all about power supply regulators here. Now the most important part is this one, like power supply tree. Okay, so in power tree what you can see is we have 12 volt input here. Now what is going to happen? This 12 volt directly is going to go to my FMC low pin count. Okay, so in that you can see we have 12 volt, we have 3.3 volt, and we have adjustable voltage which we saw, right? So there was a regulator which was setting 1.5 volt, 1.8, 1.5, 2.5 and 3.3 volt. So that all voltage is going to your FMC connector. Now coming back to the other part, so this 12 volt is actually going to generate 1 volt core voltage through switching regulator I told you, then 1.8 volt and then 3.3 and 5 volt. So switching regulator 1 is actually generating 1 volt and 1.8, and switching regulator 2 is generating 3.3 and 5 volt. Just now we saw. This 5 volt is being served for Raspberry Pi as well, and then this 3.3 volt is going to go to your FTTDI, then your LDOs to generate 1.8 volt, one more LDOs to generate your 2.8 and 1.2 for camera voltage levels, and this 1.8 is going to generate 1 volt for your ADC 1 volt application. Okay, so this was all about the power tree that we just now saw. And this is the block where all the power supply voltage rail is being used at different locations, like which bank, which VCCIO and what voltage levels that you can see. So hope you have now a complete understanding of this particular FPGA development board and how it is being used, and various locations are actually indicated in this particular section. You can see you have 12 volt power input through jack pin. Okay, and some various other power supply section is actually here itself, like you have these two switching regulator, one is here and one is downside, like bottom side, and these two are inductors of 4.7 micro henry. Okay, so alright guys, hope you have a complete knowledge of how the process flow for the particular circuit design or of FPGA in this particular development board. Now in the next sessions what we will do is we will give you our other FPGA circuits which will be actually applicable for different power supply application or different camera application or a general purpose applications for various FPGAs. Thank you.